This isn't an employment bill, it's an unemployment bill. Given these clauses, will he drop his bill? Mr. Speaker, last week he claimed to have laid down an amendment that he had not made. He doesn't know what is going on in here or out there.
Last week, he misled the House. Keir Starmer's bold claim about the Prime Minister's knowledge of his own education bill set off a political firestorm.
Last week, he misled the House. He was not on top of his own education bill, listening to
But in an ironic twist, it's now Starmer facing accusations of deception. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. As the employment bill debate rages on, we're witnessing a high-stakes battle where truth and political spin collide. Will Starmer's aggressive strategy backfire, or is this the spark that ignites a larger controversy? As the employment bill debate rages on, it's become clear that this isn't just another piece of legislation. It's a Trojan horse packed with controversial clauses that could reshape the UK's employment landscape. The government claims it's all about protecting workers' rights and dignity, but businesses aren't buying it. In fact, they're sounding alarm bells loud enough to wake the dead.
What is the government doing for growth now? It's destroying it. Let's look at the employment bill.
Let's take a closer look at why 92% of small employers are breaking out in cold sweats over this bill. It's not just about the bottom line, though that's certainly part of it. The Federation of Small Businesses is warning that clauses 1 to 6 could make it harder to hire new employees, especially young job seekers.
Clauses 1 through 6 make it harder for business to hire new employees, often young people looking for their first job.
Is this really what we want in a post-pandemic economy? Critics aren't mincing words. They're calling it an unemployment bill in disguise. It's a bold claim.
This isn't an employment bill, it's an unemployment bill. Given these clauses, will he drop his bill?
But is there any truth to it? The government insists that good work rights are consistent with growth. But at what cost? The numbers paint a stark picture. This bill is expected to increase business costs from £600 million to £1 billion annually in sick pay alone. That's not pocket change. It's a serious hit to businesses already struggling to stay afloat.
There's no point me just complaining about Labour, she said. It's obvious that we Conservatives lost the confidence of business. We're not taking lectures from them.
But it's not just about the money. There's a sneaking suspicion that this bill is more about union power than worker protection. Take Clause 61, for example. It reduces the notice period for strikes to just 1 week. That's music to the ears of union leaders, but it's a nightmare for businesses trying to plan ahead. And let's not forget the lawyers. This bill has been described as an adventure playground for lawyers.
The Federation of Small Businesses says 92% of small employers are concerned about the employment bill.
Great news if you're billing by the hour, but not so great if you're trying to run a business. More legal disputes mean more time in court and less time actually, working. The Federation of Small Businesses isn't pulling any punches. They're warning of higher prices, fewer jobs, and less growth. It's a grim forecast, and it's got a lot of people wondering, is this bill truly about protecting workers, or is there another agenda at play?
Figures say it will cost business £5 billion a year. It clearly fails the Prime Minister's growth test. Will he drop it?
Keir Starmer's bold accusation against the Prime Minister has backfired spectacularly, leaving Labour's leader caught in a web of his own making. What started as a fiery confrontation over the employment bill has morphed into a political circus, with Starmer as the unwitting ringmaster. The Commons erupted into chaos as Starmer claimed the PM had laid down an amendment he hadn't made. It was a serious accusation.
Mr. Speaker, last week he claimed to have laid down an amendment that he had not made. He doesn't know what is going on in here or out there.
One that could have dealt a devastating blow to the government's credibility. But in a twist worthy of a political thriller, it's Starmer who now finds himself under the microscope. As the dust settled, it became painfully clear that Starmer's claim was built on shaky ground. The irony wasn't lost on the government benches, who seized the opportunity to turn the tables on the opposition leader. Suddenly, the hunter became the hunted, and Starmer's aggressive questioning style, once his trademark, now threatens to be his undoing. This debacle raises serious questions about Starmer's strategy. Has his relentless pursuit of political points blinded him to the facts? Or is this a case of a well-intentioned leader falling victim to faulty intelligence? Either way, the damage to his credibility could be severe. But let's not lose sight of the bigger picture. While Starmer's misstep dominates the headlines, the employment bill continues to loom large over the UK's economic landscape. We've heard about the potential for higher prices and job losses, but what about the broader economic ripple effects? The Federation of Small Businesses has warned of less growth, but they might be missing the forest for the trees. Could this bill inadvertently reshape entire industries, forcing a fundamental restructuring of the UK economy? And if so, who stands to benefit most from this seismic shift? Consider Clause 61, which reduces the notice period for strikes to just 1 week.
Mr. Speaker, he doesn't want to talk about the employment bill because he doesn't know about it. Last week, he misled.
On the surface, it's a win for unions. But dig deeper and you'll find a potential powder keg. Businesses, already struggling with post-pandemic recovery, could find themselves constantly on edge, unable to plan for the future. This uncertainty could lead to reduced investment, stifling innovation and growth. Moreover, the bill's impact on small businesses could trigger a domino effect throughout the economy. As smaller companies struggle with increased costs and legal complexities, larger corporations might swoop in to fill the void. Could we be witnessing the unintended creation of an even more concentrated corporate landscape? And let's not forget the international perspective. In an increasingly globalized world, how will this bill affect the UK's competitiveness? Could we see an exodus of businesses to more employer-friendly jurisdictions?
Wages up, inflation down. Mr. Speaker, there's more to do. We're reforming planning and regulation, building the new homes that we need.
As the dust settles on this fiery PMQ session, the employment bill debate has exposed deep fissures not just between parties, but within the business community itself. Starmer's misstep has inadvertently shifted the spotlight from the bill's contentious clauses to his own credibility. It's a stark reminder that in the high-stakes arena of parliamentary politics, even a small slip can have far-reaching consequences. The question now looming over Westminster is whether Starmer can recover from this setback and refocus the debate on the substance of the bill. Or has his credibility been irreparably damaged in the eyes of both the Commons and the public? With trust in political figures already on shaky ground, this incident could further erode public confidence in our leaders' ability to navigate complex economic policies.